In video 5, we're going to look at designing the card itself. Our app builder is robust, but for now we want to keep it simple and only focus on the digital business card. I want to repeat this again as I will in each training. Let me start off by saying do not complicate this process. The mobile business card is simple, powerful, and effective, introducing your client the complete mobile marketing system. Let's take a look at the app building platform and start looking at the design features. Okay, we are back inside the app building system. We are going to go in and we're going to start designing the app, the look of the app now. Let's go into edit content. Before we do that, I'm going to set my buttons. We're going to go into content. We're going to turn some off so we can have our buttons exactly the way we want them to look. We're going to turn off join our list. Call us, share, email us, and we're going to change this to contact us. And you see here it has an arrow to the left here. That means you can move this around. So I'm going to move this up here to the top. I'm going to save that. And that should be everything. So you can see I've got my 3 buttons here that I want. Some of these will become a button bar and a tab bar. We're going to come over here to content. Settings. We're going to go ahead and set our header. I do not use a title bar. I remove this. That's your preference. I remove it because I want all the room I can get. I don't want my app to be crowded. I'm going to add my image. My image is 500 by 250. Click add. I'm going to add a button bar. I'm going to put call us, email us, and share. That's your share button for the top Facebook timeline. You can see that the background here is different than everything else. You can change the color of this background and or make it transparent if you have a background here. You do that in the color settings and I'll show that in the next video. I'm going to click save. Next I'm going to go to my footer. I'm again going to hide the title bar. I'm going to set up a tab bar. I'm going to place home page. And I'm going to place previous page. And you can see what my tab bar looks like there. I'm going to save that. Same thing, you can change the background colors on there. You can make it transparent or whatever you need to do. Now when I actually finish the app, I will hide this off of the front page, the home page, and I will only have it on the sub pages on the footer bar. I'm going to come down. I will not have a slide menu, will not set page transitions. I will set the save home screen triangle. We'll come up to preview. We will reload our preview. You can see here we've got everything laid out now. The only thing left to do is come in and change some background colors, add our colors, change the button design, and set it up to match our actual colors in our business card. We will be doing that in the next video. Remember, keep it simple. And this concludes the app building systems designing the card. We will go into looking at the coloring system in the next video. Welcome to video 6, the coloring system. We're going to continue in the app building system, building your digital business card. Our app builder is robust, but for now we will keep it simple and only focus on the digital business card. I want to repeat this again as I will in each training. Let me start off by saying, do not overcomplicate this process. The mobile business card is simple, powerful, and effective, introducing your client the complete mobile marketing system. Let's take a look at the app building platform and start looking at the coloring system. Okay, we are back inside of the control panel now. We're going to go back into our card. Just go to edit content, This time we're going to be working in the coloring system, and we're going to start adding button detail and colors and background colors and so forth. And we're going to take this in a couple of different steps here. So let's go down here to Styles and Colors. And what we want to do is we want to go to the Advanced System. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my background color. Now you can either put your background image here or a background color. I'm going to choose to put a background color. And that's the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to change that to black. In order to, if you don't have a color over here to pick, all you need to do is go over and select the three little bars right here on the left. It says show numbers, and put the code in right there of whatever color code is. And the same thing if you pick colors. And I'm going to show you how to pick colors in the next video. We've got our background set, and we've set it to black. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into header. Now I'm going to set my background color here. Okay, you can see that it's still gray. You can do this one of two ways. You can zero the transparency, and or you can set the color. So I'm going to set the color to black. Now I don't have a title bar here, but I am going to change the colors of my tab bar after I set the colors on my button bar. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to set up the colors on my button bar. I use a program called Colorzilla to do my color picking. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to take Colorzilla, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick this gold. Okay, and I want to get a real good gold here. So you got to move it around a little bit. I like that right there. I'm going to pick that, and I am going to make that my border color. And I'm just going to paste that in there. Oops. And I'm going to make that my border color. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to pick this brown right in here. I really like to put some color. I'm going to make that tan. And I'm going to make that my background color. Now one thing to remember is as you're setting your colors up here, okay, this sets your color palette for the rest of the coloring system. So as you set your colors up in your header, it saves the colors throughout your system. Okay, I don't like that background. So see, I don't like the background, so I'm going to change that. Maybe I'll make that gold. Yeah, I'm going to make those gold. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to set the border. I'm going to set the border to the lighter color. Okay, so I give it a little contrast there. I could even go in here and pick me a lighter color gold and set the border color there. I play with it a little bit just so, yeah, that looks good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my buttons to white, text and icon color to white. And that looks really good. Okay, so I'm getting some contrast here in my button bar. Now I want to come over here and I want to set my tab colors up the same way. Your tab colors are going to show up underneath the Contact Us. These tabs right here. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to set my tab colors the same way. My border color is going to be the light. My background color is going to be the dark. And my text and icon color is going to be white. If you don't change that, if you don't change the tab bar, and this doesn't show up on every page unless you set it to show up on every page, but your tab bar here is what controls inside your contact information, okay? And if you may leave it addresses and maps, but I change it to Contact Us. So you want to go in here, you want to set your button bar first. Then after you set your button bar and set your colors, then all you got to do is come in into your tab bar and set up your tab bar. Very, very, very simple. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do the same thing to the footer. I'm going to set my tab bar. Icon color is going to be white. You see that my colors are saved here? That's because I did it first in the header. My border color is going to be yellow gold, and my background color is going to be gold. And now I'm going to come up and I'm going to save that. After each thing that I do, your header, footer, after each sequence, I go up and save it just in case I walk away from my computer and it times out. If it times out Even though you still see it there, you're probably not going to get it saved. So now that I've set my tab bar down here, I'm going to come on up, back up to the footer. I'm going to only show that on all of the subpages. I'm going to take it off of the front page because there is no back button for the front page and there is no home button for the front page because you're on that. Let's go up here to preview. You can see the changes that we've made. Okay, we've set our background to black. We've removed our tab bar down here and we've set our button colors here. Let's go back into settings. I'm going to close our footer. Let's come back down here to styles and colors. Now content body, you want to come here over here to your content body. Sometimes you'll come in and maybe your text size is too small. A lot of people forget about the content body. This is where you set your text size, your text color, your background color. I could change that to gold if I wanted to. I like it white, okay, because it shows up. You can put a border around the box, okay. Maybe I want to make that gold, okay. Maybe I want to make the border color gold, okay, to kind of set it off there a little bit. So I put a border around there. My background color is here, and my text color is kind of a gray. Maybe I want to change that to black, okay. I'm going to change that to black so it'll really stand out, all right. And I can change the text size right here. If you ever get on in your custom content or anything and you have text and it's too small, you adjust it right here under text size. 16 is the recommended text size for mobile apps. 16, font size 16. And we're going to come back here and we're going to reload that. And in our next video, I'm going to go into main links. I'm going to go in and set up the main links. And that will conclude part 1 of your color system. Okay, that was the coloring system. We just came out of the platform. Remember, keep it simple. And that's going to conclude part 1 of the coloring system of the app building system. Okay, we're back in the app building system. This is part 2 of the coloring system. Our app builder is robust, but for now we will keep it simple and only focus on the digital business card. I want to repeat this again as I will in each training. Let me start off by saying do not overcomplicate this process. The mobile business card is simple, powerful, and effective, introducing your client the complete mobile marketing system. Let's take a look at the app building platform and continue looking at the coloring system. Okay, we are back in the system here. We're going to go back into the card and continue working with the coloring system. Go to settings, come down to styles and colors, and we're going to go back over to the advanced system. Yesterday we covered header and footer, content body, and today we're going to look specifically at the main links. The quickest and easiest thing I believe you can do is come in and choose a pre-made set of links. It makes it very quick, makes it very simple. There's some very good templates in here that I use all the time. You can come in and create these individually by coming into the settings, the icon, content box icon. But it's a lot quicker, and the digital business card is all about keeping it simple and building it quickly and making it look good. So let's go into choose a pre-made. This is one of my favorites right here. This right here you can do so much with, and it's very simple, very easy to use. So let's go into there. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to settings. Do you see this left column right here? These colors are in settings and they're right here on the bottom. We're going to remove those. And I'm going to add a color. And I'm going to add this gold color right here. Okay, because I want to stay with my theme. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to take that top left radius and I'm going to bring it on over. Okay? And I'm going to take the bottom right radius and I'm going to bring that over. You can see here, I'm sorry, the bottom left radius and bring it over. You can see here that you can do so many things. I can move anything on here. I can move them all at the same time. I can move them individually. But what I want to do is I want to take that top left radius and I want to take that bottom left radius and I'm going to curve that in. Now I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to kind of put some a little 3D effect on here. Border style, you got solid, double, groove, ridge, inset. I'm going to put a ridge on there. And you see how that kind of comes in and it takes that and it kind of gives it that 3D effect. I really like the way that does that. You can set up solid. You can set up double, grooved, ridge, inset, or outset. Okay? And but I'm going to use ridge because I like that a lot. All right? So we've got that set up. Our border on our left side, we can make that any size we want. I'm going to bring that down to, let's bring it down to about 7. Okay? We're going to bring that down to 7. I don't want it real thick. I just want it to give it a nice border. Now we're going to come over to the icon content box. Now we can do so many things right here, but one thing I want to do with the icon context box is I'm going to give it a border size. Okay? And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to give it about a 3 border. And I'm going to take that and I want it completely round. I want to make a circle out of it. And I'm going to remove this color here on the border colors and I'm going to add the outline that I've got right here. Now you can see here we're getting some great contrast. Everything is looking really good. I'm going to come in right here and you can see how dark this is. I'm going to lighten that transparency up just a little bit. I'm going to bring it down to about 70. Okay, it lets some of that black shine through. Still gives me some of the gray. And I'm able to keep the contrast and so forth there. So that looks really good. And that's the icon content box. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to move down to the icon. Okay, I'm not going to change the color of the icon. Now I can put a border around the icon. I can do anything I want. I don't really put a border around the icon. I don't like that, so I don't mess with it. You can change the color of the icon just like you can anything else. Okay. Now one thing you can do, and I'll go ahead and show you with this, you can add multiple colors to the borders. You can add multiple colors to your icons. You can do several different things. Let's make that white. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a color and I'm going to make that gold, light gold. And you can see it alternates. Okay. Now if I add another color, let's say a gray, you can see each one is alternated, okay? But I'm going to remove this. I don't usually do that, very seldom, unless it's unless there's a lot of color in the card. I will do that, and I use a different template for that. The text content box. Okay, the first thing I want to do here is I'm going to take a look at this, and I'm going to leave the background just like it is, and I'm going to bring that background to 70, just like I did before on the icon box. The border size, I'm going to put a bottom border on, and I'm going to put it at about 4, and I'm going to put a right size border on, and I'm going to put it at 4, and you can see I put a border on the outside right here. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put some curves, some angles, some whatever you want, some radius on these borders here. So this would be the bottom left. I'm going to come over and I'm going to bring that all the way around. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over and I'm going to do the same thing to the top right. And I'm going to bring that over. And I'm going to leave this just like it is. I'm not going to put any radius here. But I am going to change that border color. And all I'm going to do is remove it. And I'm going to add my border. And that looks really good. Really good. And I'm going to come in and the text. I normally don't mess with the text, but I just want to show you here. You can align it to the left, you can center it, you can put it to the right. Text padding means the padding from the left-hand side how much padding you want to give it. We'll put it back down there about 10. I can change the text color. I can configure the font to whatever I want to make it. I don't change the font. Takes too much time. Let me exit out of that. You can change the weight of the font. You can do all those things. You can change the size. Remember what I said about 16? 16 is the recommended size for font. Okay. And now you can see just very quickly there, I have set up, I've matched my colors. I've put an inset right here on the left side. I circled my icon. I set some transparency so it's not quite as gray. You know, some of the black shines through. And you can see here it kind of picks up the transparency just like right here. So that looks really good. And in just a few minutes, and do not be afraid to sit here and play with the main links. Go in there and move the slides and do everything you want to do. You can set the height spacing. Okay? You can change it to whatever you want. You can put it right up on top of each other. But let's put a little bit in there. We'll put about a 6. You can change the spacing width. Okay, if you don't want your buttons to be so wide. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Alright, whatever you want to do with it. And don't be afraid to come in and move these buttons around. Icon content box, the same thing. You can change all this information. Start at the top, work your way down, set your borders, set your radiuses, set your colors. The icon is very simple. I usually do not mess with anything on the icon. It's usually set perfect. The text content box, you can see I set some right side borders and a bottom size border, right size border, bottom size border, and then I put some radius on these two borders. I don't want to mess with those anymore. Okay, I put my gold from here down here. I'll use my white text, and so everything matches up very nicely. And my text, I can change that to whatever I want. I normally use, especially on a black background, white. If it's on a light background, I use black. Very seldom do I change that. And that concludes this video on the main links. So our app is really coming together very nicely. Make sure you save it. Let's come up here to the preview. And our app is really starting to come together. Our business card is really starting to take form. There's just a couple more things that we're going to do and make some changes on. We still have our triangle to color in. We've got our branding down here if you have the Platinum program. And we have our Facebook icon that we're going to do some things with. And that will pretty much wrap up the coloring system on the digital business card when we get to those in the next couple of videos. So make sure that you watch this video. Do not be afraid to handle the things you need to handle. Go in and play with it. You're not going to break the system. The only way you're going to learn is if you watch the videos and go in and follow along with the videos and continue to do exactly what I do. You will not break the system. It's not going to happen. So that concludes this part, and let's get back over to the slide presentation. Okay, that is part 2 of the coloring system. Remember, keep it simple.